Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of Steranko, Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., IDW, Artisan edition. Quite a mouthful actually saying all that. Obviously Marvel as well. And it's 184 pages from IDW, just come out fairly recently, obviously based on an earlier massive artist edition. But this one is the Artisan edition, which is much lighter. I love it. I must admit, I prefer this format in some ways. Though sometimes, of course, the artist edition is amazing because you get the really big pages. Something like the EC comic cover one, I think will be spectacular. But this one, actually, I think is still pretty amazing. Though, perhaps this is probably, for me, the slightly weakest of the Artisan editions I've had recently. It's not that it's bad, because the stories are great. I love the stories. But sometimes I think they actually work better for some weird reason in colour more than the black and white. Have you got some lovely, there's some really great bits there. You can see there, they've really done a great job of the layout and everything. It's just, and you can see the titles there, all the various issues. This is part of an ongoing series. I hope they bring out many more of these Artisan editions. I love these books. So Strange Tales 151, 152, 53, of course, all the way through. It's got the titles, of course, all the way down to Strange Tales 162. Of course, it was only about 10 odd pages in each of those issues, so they were fairly short. But as ever, of course, there is the first page there. And brilliant quality as ever. I absolutely love it. I mean, it's so detailed. I love looking at the detail. I love all the writing as well, because it's just brilliant when you get all the writing at the top there as well. And of course you've got all the artwork, all the great stories with Hydra. Hydra's great. Of course, I love the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series as well with Hydra. Always brilliant. Only criticism slightly is that I'm not super keen on Steranko's art, this period anyway. I always found it slightly clunky. All the characters are slightly awkward poses. Maybe, I don't know. But still, I enjoy Steranko's work. I'm not saying that there's some real classics, the Captain America ones, to come to mind. But sometimes when you look at these, you think, However, got some absolutely great. And I love all, of course, you've got all the blue there. You can see, because of course it's in black and white, but obviously it's colour. So you can still see the blue there. And also, of course, the writing, room rocks, something in opposite. And you've got, see, you've got that lovely scene there. You've got, obviously, Sergeant. Now that would be pretty tricky. I mean, I know Sergeant Fury's pretty strong, but actually whipping the guy around and hold him and throw him around like that would require someone of sort of at least Captain America strength. I've just thought. I mean, I don't think that's particularly easy to do, however strong you are. But it's a comic book, of course, and you've got to look at these things. But you've got, of course, the evil. Now, I'm never certain who the master, the Hydra top guy ever is. That's, of course, the whole point of Hydra. It can be anyone. Just tucked away, normally stroking a cat or something. No, it's probably a different TV series or film, but it's Power of S.H.I.E.L.D. The Power of S.H.I.E.L.D. Great shot of obviously upside down there, but it's just great. And of course, there's quite a few pages where you've got this sort of obviously where there was something else and it sort of disappeared obviously at some point. And you've got quite a few of these sort of things as well, where obviously probably could have used a few more pictures if they had some pencil drawings and whatever, but however, still pretty impressive. Pretty looks good. I mean, it's obviously clearly amazing bit of Steranko. I assume Steranko did that. And I think it's just, that's quite awesome, the way he's done that. Most unusual. The overkill horn. You always come with a lot of invention in this. This was the thing for me, more than probably the artwork. Sometimes I found the artwork a bit overly fussy, lots and lots of bits. And so some of the poses were really did me in a bit, I must admit. It's just a bit stiff at times. But it's still impressive stories. I loved them. I'm not saying that. And again, probably I'm going to quickly show you this. Of course, this book is superb. This is the S.H.I.E.L.D., the complete collection. I think they work better in colour. That's just me. For this, in this case, but it's still fascinating to see all the various things that have been. However, there's a few pages in this, and I'm, of course, now not going to find one very easily, as always the way. You can see more pages there. I love all the way they've obviously done some rewriting there. You've got a few where you've got this, where it's just, oh, I mean, that's superb in that one. Burst through again, very dramatic. And will I find an example there? Of course, this is later in the book, as always, when you're searching for something. Oh, tribunal there. And again, lots and lots. So you can really go through the whole story, the whole set of story. I don't know if there's going to be the other stories, the Steranko stories, because there was lots of other classics, and there's some really brilliant ones some favourites of mine, of obviously Baron Strucker, etc. I am Hydra. Oh, no. See, Hydra, it keeps changing. I'm surprised he wasn't Zemo or something, probably, whoever he was. Crisis, you got there. Sorry about spoiling if you did not realise. But again, who is the head of Hydra? I don't know. After a while, you got to the point where anyone in there, what's his name, was the head of Hydra. Again, some unusual pose there. Fatum, as he got off there. Again, I'm typical. I said that there's some pages where, I mean, that's just glorious. You've got a lovely bit of artwork there. Love that. And of course, now I can't find. Oh, I knew I'd find one somewhere. This is page not scanned from original art. And there's a few of those, maybe not as many as I thought, because I've been struggling to find one during this going through. But again, another one, page not scanned, and you can still quite decent quality. Obviously, clearly still a reasonable one, which is a pity it wasn't scanned, but there's quite a few at this point, pages not scanned. And there's another one, page not scanned. This is page not scanned from original art. Still, and actually, when you compare it against the other one, it's fine, and you can really tell the difference. Of course, one's still quite bright. They've obviously got a very nice there, but you've obviously got there where the page is slightly browned over the years. And again, some really beautiful. This one here, Agent of Shield. That's just classic. And So Evil the Night. And again, you've got obviously Captain America there. I love the invisible car, whatever it is. Clear fiberglass. How fascinating. Lots of invention all the way through this. And you've got and I love all the bits where it's got the top there where it says Strange Tales 162 and Strange Tales 159. You go through all the various pages there. And then all the way through to the end, and there's some bonus material at the end. And you've got this lovely section here. And it's got the Man Called Death, and you've got the covers. Now, not all the covers are included. So 151, 53, 55, etc. So not everything. So there's a few gaps, like 158 is not included. And you've got here the Man Called Death. Now that's obviously been shown a number of times now, but it's still great to see. And it's always makes you wonder what would have happened if they'd gone for that sort of style of thing, the Man Called Death, and not obviously SHIELD, Director of External Atomic Threat Headquarters. So what would it have been called? Obviously, Department Office, Director of, most unusual, Man Called Death. But what would the department have been called? It would have been called EATH. EATH wouldn't have worked so well, wouldn't it? Anyway, that's enough. However, here's some of the covers, of course, brilliant covers. I love these ones. Now, I assume the reason they haven't included some of them, of course, is because this was shared with, of course, Doctor Strange. No idea. Haven't checked out the others. Oh, that's weird. There's one. Why have they included two the same? That's strange. I don't know. So you got there the same cover there? Is there a reason for that? 159 and 59. Maybe it says 150. Oh, original redrawn. I didn't notice that. So there's a. That's nice. And also there's a lovely bit section again, some more brilliant artwork there. Steranko. And so this actually one, they've done a lot more than probably previous artist/artisan editions that I've seen, where you've got a lot of more background detail, and as well as, of course, about Steranko there, which is quite nice. And the usual sort of, I love the real nice quality work. This is just really, of course, sometimes though, I always find these flexi-bound ones, these sort of things, sometimes, and I can feel it there. There's a bit of damage there. There's a bit of sort of marks where it's just... Anyway, I think it's still an absolutely lovely, but I would have to say not my favourite of all of the Artisan editions. Still pretty impressive. If you're a Steranko/SHIELD fan, I think you're going to love it. Well, this is a must-buy. This is a must-buy, especially if you haven't got the artist edition, of course. But I actually quite like to have these ones, even if I've got the artist edition, because I find the artist editions way too heavy, virtually impossible to put anywhere, and they just sort of like, I'd never read them. That's the truth about it. I just got them, and occasionally I open them, but sometimes they just sit there and they sit there. I think, but these you can just pick up, and just read it anywhere, and just think, you know what a classic story. And I just love them. I don't mind black and white, not a problem with that. But again, probably in this case, I probably prefer this. However, there it is, Steranko Shield, Nick Fury of Shield, whatever it's called. See there. Still really worth checking out and totally recommended.